I wonder.
Yeah, man, how you doing? You good? I know you like that. I know you like that. How long you been back, man? I see the girls in the club, they getting wild for me. And all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me. These rap cats, man, they all got this style for me.
Oh, bring it back. Bring it back. Can you bring Mace back? Can we get Mace back? I think we're live, Coach Hen.
Live, baby.
We live, baby.
We made it
Welcome
back.
back, baby. FanView Live, Real Fans Talk Sports on New Orleans Talk Network, man. We live and we getting it, man.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back.
Man, we made it.
We made it, baby. We made it, baby. Y'all been waiting for it for a whole year for FanView Live to come back. And we're in the building, y'all.
There it is.
Much to talk about, much to discuss. It's been a long way to tell. Y'all here in the background. Y'all here.
Y'all here did it. What did it tell them?
Ooh, you know I need. Ooh, you know I need.
Yes, sir.
It's been a long way to time, man. Listen, I'm your boy Fred.
Coach Hurricane Hen, back again,
baby. FanView Live, Real Fans Talk Sports, man. Listen, if y'all never subscribe to this page, subscribe to this page on Facebook, subscribe to this page on YouTube. Y'all see our new time, 12 o'clock. It's our new time, baby.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Prime time.
Prime time. Yeah, we here to compete with every show you could think about. It's the best sports show on the internet. And we got a lot to discuss today. Much going on with NBA. You know, much going on in NFL.
Yeah.
You know, much going around the world of sports, Coach Hen.
Yeah. That
we got to get down to it. We got to talk about it.
Yeah.
And my man GSportz is not with us this Thursday, but he's still in the building. If I'm representing him today.
Yes, sir.
He'll be here. That's for sure. Shout out to my man GSportz. If you're not following GSportz, if you're not on YouTube or Facebook, if you're not on Twitter, shame on you. You're bad. You're bad.com. But much to get into about, you know, NCAA March Madness. We got our high school corner segment towards the end of the show. Just stay locked in, folks. But to start off this show, a good high school teammate, you know, your teammate, a high school friend of ours, became the head coach of our alma mater, Mr. Clifford Harris. He's going to be our guest caller for this opening show of FanView Live to come on back. We're going to sit down and talk to Clifford about becoming the new head coach of Higgins High School football. I'm proud of him. I'm actually really, really happy for him. I can't be more overjoyed about a person, you know, who actually graduated from Higgins, got a scholarship to go to Duke, coming back to the community and being graced with an opportunity. I'm overjoyed for it, man.
Yeah. Most definitely. It's big time, especially to see, to watch him grow. You know, not only as a player, as a young man. You know, now, you know, with every former player that gets into the profession of coaching, dreams of going back to your roots.
Yeah. And getting an opportunity to really, you know, establish an identity as a head coach. You know, figuring it out. You know what it's going to take, but you know, getting back to those things and you know, figuring out, you know, how can you get back to that community? I'm gonna love to sit down and have this conversation with them, man. I'm overjoyed about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know,
so soon as our producer Magic Mike, Erie and Bakeboard Recite, you know, gets that notification from us. You know, we'll conduct that, getting on the way.
Right. But how things has been in the past, Coach Hen? Like, I ain't gonna lie, it's been tiresome for me. It's been tiresome. You ever tried playing sports? I tried playing sports recently this past Sunday, and trust me, if you think you can do it, you can't. Leave it to the young fella. I thought I was gonna catch a heart attack playing pickup basketball, let alone think you're gonna go play football or go play some soccer or something. If you're in your 30s, if you think you can still mentally go out there and play with these kids, you're bad.
I don't know, nah. I do it every day at practice.
You still involved. You still connected.
Yeah, you got to pick your battles, baby.
Yeah.
You got to pick your battles, baby. You know, you got to pick your battles. You do one or two drills, baby, show them you still got it. You ain't to be messing with it, then you go grab that water. Make sure you hydrate, baby.
Make sure you hydrated, baby.
Hey, look, pulling a hammer at 35 ain't pretty.
Listen. I tried it. I went out there, tried to play a pickup game with some youngsters. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. My mind said, Fred, you can still do the crossover. You can still do the behind the back. You can get to the rim. You can rebound. You can crash the boards. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. You're bad. I even tried playing a flag football game one time thinking, I can run with this little kid. I can't run with these kids.
See, man,
kid running the 4-6 outrunning me.
Man, what you gotta do is, man, you gotta use your mental over your physical once you get to that certain age, man. Man, when you coach the kids that we coach, it's like, man, ain't nowhere where I'm about to be running with Devontae Lee. Ain't nowhere where I'm probably in here with drills with Ishmael and Tyron.
Can't do it.
But what we do, you out mental their ass. And then they go, man, Coach Hank, man, he ain't want to play with right there. Yeah, you right.
I can understand that. Because I tried playing some pickup games, and trust me, if you're in your 30s and you think you could pick some pickup game with these kids, think again.
You should just act like Mark Jackson, baby. 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, 3, turn.
Yeah. You got to adopt some methods. You can't. They're gonna just beat you off pure.
Nah, if y'all them youngsters that played and beat up on Fred, I need y'all to send that video to us so he could be on your bag.
Yeah. Because I was bad. I was bad.com. I could barely play D. I could barely pick an arm up. Couldn't crash a board. I get to the lane, get a layup, and I think I'm greatness. I'm over there huffing and puffing. Like, man, I gotta do this again. We not at 15 yet. This took too long. This took too long. I couldn't do it. Yeah. It was just, I don't know. I can't do it. Now, like I said, we're waiting on the producer right now. We're waiting on getting Mr. Clifford Harris on. Uh-oh.
I thought we had action.
I thought we had action just now. That we had action there. But excited. I'm excited about my alma mater, man.
I just hope I should, by me, as much as I blocked for him, I should get some free Higgins gift. That's what I need to
Some merchandise.
Yeah, man. I should, man.
At least, obviously you can't go to the game.
Nah, I can't.
You coaching. You coaching.
But there he is, baby.
Oh, man, listen. I'm excited to have this conversation with him, sit down and talk to him. It's been a while. It's been some time. It's been intriguing to sit down. Really, I want to hear about his story. I want to hear about how it's all come up. We all were teenagers at this time, Coach. We'd be talking about 14, 15, 16 years old. Now we all adults. We all we come to this age of becoming men. Now we're taking our own. We all have our own path, whether it's in media, coaching, and what have you. So I'm waiting on to see if he.
Clifford, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, Clifford. Now I think we got a little echo in our room, but Clifford, man, first and foremost, man, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
How does it feel to become the head coach of your alma mater, L.W. Higgins?
I tell you what, when everybody asks me that question, I say I feel like I'm at home now. I mean, for those who don't know, I was coaching actually at our rival school, Janoris High School, for the past 5 seasons. And I was honored. I was blessed to get an opportunity to come back and help rebuild the program that did so much for me and many others. So it's a blessing, man. Like I said, I feel at home growing up right in the neighborhood in Westminster, right behind it, It just feel like back in 2004, 2005.
Man, so look, Cliff, man, being part of that program, like you just said, we grew it up in that Higgins program. One of the main things we had like a culture. With you coaching at Everett for the past couple of seasons, and watching afar, what is one of the main things you have to do as now the new head coach to come in and change the culture to get back that winning Hurricane pride that we played with?
Well, I tell you what, the high school scene has changed a lot since we left. I think the key is to one, keep those kids in that area. That's the big issue, but also having them be proud of where they're from. Because, Higgins is mainly consisted of Bridge City, Wagman, Avondale, Kennedy Heights, West Wego, and a little bit of Marrero. So it was a pride thing for us. We wanted to prove that where we play ball at was better than you. So It's about playing for that name on the front, not the back. And I think that's going to be the key, getting those guys to play for each other and being proud of where they're from, where they go to school, and knowing that when we line up across you going to feel us. That's my goal.
Now, Clifford, speaking about that, obviously you come from that Dogs of War, era. But football is a little different now. You obviously was a star, quarterback. Obviously got the scholarship to play running back. And in that era of football, running backs were predominant the thing. In today's era of football, we got a lot more 7-on-7. We got a lot of camps. So we starting to see a lot of passing in terms of a lot of high school offenses now. What kind of identity you're looking to bring to this team, offensively, that can help change that culture you're talking about? In terms of the football team?
Well, this the thing, and I don't mind the spread. I mean, that's what we ran here at Eric, but you got to have the personnel to do it. For instance, when you look at Edna Carr, they can line up and go 4 wide every play, but they usually gonna have 2 dogs at receiver and a plethora of running backs and a quarterback that can extend plays. Just looking at it going in, that's not what we have here. But I tell you what. We've always been big up front, and that's no matter what era you played in at Higgins. We were known for having big offensive linemen and defensive linemen. So our game is going to have to be one in the trenches, and of course, I want to get those guys moving forward. So we're going to be a run-first team, no doubt. Now we're going to jazz it up a little. I'm not going all the way back to the option where we did the triple option, but we're definitely going to be a downhill running team, and our passing game is going to be predicated off of what we do in the run game.
Now, one of the things, because I've by me coaching now, you can kind of look back and look at how the district used to be when you played it and stuff. What was some of the things that you actually learned at Eric about the district? Because it's no more like it's Riverdale's not in it no more. Like when we played, your Bonables and all that stuff. The district has changed totally from now. So what are some of the things that help you prepare? That you learned at Eric that you can bring to Higgins now about facing our district rivals?
Well, you learn a lot from the district. I mean, for a while, Landry Walker and Errol was at the top of the district, and honestly, Errol is still at the top until somebody dethroned him. But the district is not the same. I mean, even when we played, Bonneville, you wasn't just blowing them out by 50 points. You knew you was going to win, but it wasn't going to be a cakewalk. Same as East Jeff. And that's no discredit to those programs now. I mean, those coaches and kids work hard, but they just don't have the players that they used to have. So the district is winnable. My goal is to start off with winning district. Excuse the bell, man. I'm still at work. But
right.
All right, so the district is very winnable. I'm sorry, the district is very winnable. Now you have a Chalmette that they added, who runs the offense that we used to run, the traditional wing T option. So you have to prepare for them, and they formidable because of what they run, not necessarily the talent level. West Jeff is up and coming again. If they made the playoff last year for the first time in a couple of years, and then you also have East Jeff who made the playoffs, and they switched to a passing attack offense, which is rare. And then of course you have Janoris who is sitting at the top. Basically because of the size of the school, the numbers, and just being that face of the West Bank, so you say. So that's my goal, is to start off with winning district. Well, I think is the chances are high. The kids I have are real good. They work hard. It's just changing their mentality, man. And that's one thing I can attest for, especially going to Duke. We didn't always win when I first got there, but it took Coach Cut coming there and changing that mentality and that behavior.
That's what I'm talking about, Clifford. See, that's what I was going to talk about. See, last year Higgins was 3-5 as a record. And obviously Higgins has been going through a couple of head coaches since Wayne Meyer. He actually went through 3 head coaches in I think about 4 or 5 years. Now you getting the opportunity. But what would you call a success this year, even if by chance, let's say you didn't win district? What would you call success as your first year as being the head coach of Higgins football team?
I tell you what, success is going to happen when we first of all win our 9 district games. We got to win those 3. We got to beat the teams we're supposed to be in district, which includes Bonneville, East Jeff, Grace King, Riverdale. Have to beat those teams. It can't even be a question. And then you have to go up there and compete with the ones that's at the top, which is Eric, Chalmette, and West Jeff. And I think if we go in there and compete, we have a good chance at winning those games. And honestly, the goal is just to get these kids to the playoffs, get these up and coming seniors to a level that they haven't seen yet, which is the playoffs. And they were actually one game away. They were sitting at like number 33 or 34 from making the playoffs. They beat East Jeff last year. They go to the playoffs. So that's the goal, to pretty much build off with how they played last year. Those 3 games, build off of that and get this team to a level that they haven't seen before.
Now, Cliff, this might be a little controversial question, but you my teammate, you my quarterback. I'm not gonna set you out there like that. But one of the things about helping change the culture is like kind of bringing people back that know what you was talking about, that knew what you went through. So right. How many of your former teammates, you're gonna reach out to help you right the shift? Because as you've been on the staff, been coaching long enough to know like it just don't fall on the head coach. The head coach can't say one thing and you got everybody else behind them saying something else. So how do you get the right staff and the right people around you to get it rolling?
I think the staff is one of the is besides the players, the staff is the next most important thing. I believe that so far I'm still in the task of trying to complete my staff. I have 2 guys from the current staff that they had last year, Brandon Thibodeau and Cedric Jackson, who also played at Higgins. Cedric was a quarterback, and they won as well. Cedric was a quarterback, played at Langston College, mm-hmm. and Brandon Thibodeau was an offensive line, played at Southern University. So those are 2 guys who understand that winning culture at Higgins. Even though they're a little younger, they still understand what it meant to win at Higgins. I also brought on Derek Wilkes. A lot of people might know Derek Wilkes, one of the great DBs that played at Higgins High School.
Hold on. He said, if we can get Clifford back,
we gonna get him back and we out. So y'all just go ahead and
all right.
Okay.
All right.
We lost Derek. We
lost Clifford.
We lost Clifford real quick. We gonna get him right back.
We're gonna get him right back.
But
y'all can hear me, man.
Okay, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, something happened on my end. But yeah, as I was saying, as far as that, I brought on Derek Wilkes. Was a DB. We played with him together. Philip Green is going to come in the summer and work with my kids as far as the off-season program. So there's and a couple other guys I'm just talking to just to see, because a lot of them not coaches too. So that's another thing. And that's the tough part. A lot of guys don't coach, but they want to be involved. So they don't always have to be a coach to be involved with the program. I just want to get those guys coming back and being proud of where they're from and where they played.
I would agree with that. One of the biggest questions I have, Clifford, is a lot of kids now. Prior to when we were young, we didn't have access to social media. Social media wasn't available. All right, Clifford, if you get a chance on your device, you gotta turn your camera on. Turn your camera on. Now. There we go. Now, one of the things that, a lot of kids in today's time, Clifford, that was different from our era, coming to high school, was social media. A lot of kids didn't have access. We didn't have that kind of access. These kids have that kind of access now. These kids are, paying attention to what stars they are, what camps they're going to, seeing what college, they're going to be, receiving offers from. As a first-time head coach, what is your mindset or position about, some of these kids or, some of these graduating seniors who don't have offers yet, who don't have scholarships yet, what is some of your position that you would have to talk to some of these seniors about, how to get recruited? Because you highly recruited coming out of high school, What's some of the conversations you're going to have with some of these seniors? Because a lot of, this is their last year, they're out the door. But I get it if you're a freshman or a sophomore, a lot of those guys are going to have to buy in. But from a senior, what is the conversation you think you're going to have with some of them about trying to get recruited, getting a scholarship, and trying to take their talent to the next level?
Well, for one thing I've learned from Coach Marcus Scott. He's not at Destrehan. He used to coach here a year ago.
Right.
But I've learned, pretty much how the recruiting trail works. And then me knowing I have a lot of friends in college, coaching college ball. So just also talking to them, I'm putting together player profiles pretty much. It pretty much details the intangibles, their measurements, but also their academic performance, because that's the key. Making sure these kids are even qualified to get to the next level. Because I can't tell you how many times, and I'm sure you can attest to this too, being a coach, how many kids are talented enough but don't qualify, have to take that JUCO route, which is tough. That's probably the toughest route to play to make it. So putting together these player profiles, that way these coaches can start coming to Higgins and realizing there is some talent here. Because that's the thing. A lot of coaches just don't know. I mean, if you're not winning, they're not going to really come to the school. And also in the summer, getting these kids out to different camps, because that's what it is now. They have to be seen. So I have to get them to these camps. And that falls on me as the head coach and all my assistants as well. We just have to get these kids noticed. But the main thing is making sure they're eligible and qualified in the classroom. And then everything else, if you're good enough on the field, they're going to find you. But I'm going to ensure that I'm going to introduce you to some coaches, shake some hands, and get you out there to some camps where you can perform at the level I know you can. For instance, we got a cornerback right now who's in the 7-on-7 circuit with Chauncey Johnson, Gardner Johnson from the Saints. So he's on that level, playing with them. And he might have to miss a workout or two, but I mean, if that's what it's going to take for him to get to that level that he's looking for.
Cliff, I'm going to take it back, man. What was it like getting that phone call saying that you, Clifford Harris, are the new head coach at LW Higgins?
Man, I tell you what, it was a long process. It was a long process. I mean, it was 3 interviews we had to go through with some good candidates. But I felt confident after my second interview. But, it was taking so long. I was like, man, maybe not. I'm not sure. Third interview, I got the call for the third interview. I'm like, okay, now we rolling, we cooking with grease again. And then it took a while again. I'm like, well, so I decided to call myself and what's going on. I'm trying to figure out what's going on because a lot of people don't know. When I first got into coaching, I tried to go to Higgins first, but it didn't work out. So I'm like, please don't let this happen to me again. And man, when I got the call, man, I had to keep it on the down low for a little bit until it got out that Monday. But I was ecstatic. The first thing I did, I prayed. I thanked the Lord for everything He's done for me. Told my wife, and then Monday I had to go ahead and make a post because I just wanted to get that buzz around the program again. I just felt the relief, man. It was a relief when I got it. I mean, I know if you see the picture, all you see is teeth.
Yeah. Kool-Aid smile. You're glistening, Clifford. You're glistening.
Right.
Like I had my phone hadn't had that many Marrero area codes holler at me like, hey, you coming back now? You coming back? Like, hey. Like Fred was one of the main ones. Hey, you coming back?
Come back.
Hey, like I love you. I'm gonna love you from a distance, man, because I'm in Hammond now.
Tangible hold down. Listen, man.
So
Clifford, man.
You're not at meet no more?
Say it again?
You're not coaching that. You wasn't at meet before, right?
No, I'm still there, but I live in Habit. Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
We just had the Heisman Trophy, and I don't know if I can leave.
Trust me, I know y'all. They got some kids over there. Trust me.
You get kids like that, man. You get to coach kids like that.
I tell you what though, man. Watching these middle school games, bro, they got a good young group in that was Gilbert now, but that old Henry Ford school.
Okay. Yeah.
We got it. That's the goal. If we keep that class together, it's gonna be something special.
So are the feeder schools still Ford, Worley, part of Ellender and Truman?
Yes, that is exactly the same. So you got now it's Charbonnet and Gilbert because they now K through 8.
Right.
So you got Charbonnet and Gilbert, then you still have Worley, you got parts of Truman and Ellender. and then you got some at Estelle too. But they all play for Ellender.
Yeah.
That's a big circuit, man. That's a big circuit of kids coming up. Obviously you got playgrounds. I know when I was coming up, people look. I don't know how much kids play playground football much anymore. The Kennedy Heights Park, the Nickerson Parks, the Paul, Kings Grant. I don't know how many kids now still playing that circuit, but when I was coming up, that was the thing.
It still is. Now they canceled it this year due to COVID, but it still is. And I have ties to all them parks, so that's a good thing.
Even though you played for the wrong park, but we ain't gonna say nothing about that.
I didn't have a choice.
Make your roots. Trying to do it to you, Clifford. But listen, Clifford, man, I'm proud of you, bro. Especially when we got the announcement, man, I was just like, man, what did this, when I heard the announcement that Clifford become the next head coach of Higgins Football School, man, coaching his alma mater, I'm proud of him, man. He worked. He's put the work in to become a head coach. But what do you think, and this is probably going to be one of my last questions. A lot of head coaches take the journey to other head coaches prior to coming back to their alma mater first. There's a lot of guys who, if they get an opportunity, they'll coach somewhere else first and kind of get their feet wet, they'll kind of get their roots wet, kind of figure out the ins and outs of being a head coach. Some of the things about, scholarships, some of the things, even the political side of being a head coach prior to maybe getting an opportunity at their alma mater. For you, used to be your first time being a head coach at school that you went to. What are some of the things that you think that you're going to have to work on as being a first-time head coach, especially now that the expectation is set so high from the community coaching at your alma mater?
Well, the key is you only can focus on who is inside the building. I mean, granted, I love the support. I love the outpouring of support, and I want it to trickle over to them kids, and that's what I'm trying to do. All the media and everything, I'm making sure it's all directed to the kids because that's who deserve it. That's who need it. I mean, my playing days are long and gone. I can't tell you the last time I tried to run a football, but the head coaching position is a lot of just background information that a lot of people don't know about. Making sure you raising money for these kids, making sure the buses is correct, uniforms okay, scheduling games, like that's all the stuff that I'm continuing to learn that I did. The responsibilities I didn't have. The X's and O's is going to be what it is, but it's the behind the scenes stuff that a head coach is required to do. That's the stuff that I'm continuing to learn. But as far as that, I mean, I've always controlled I ran the weight room at Everett. I'm going to do it at Higgins. That's what I do. I know, the kids can look at me as an example of somebody that made it from the same hall. I mean, the school looks the same. So we walk these same hallways, and pretty much the school was the same. So it's pretty much just showing them I'm an example of what you can do when you work hard and put the time in to get where you need to go.
Last question, Coach.
Man, tell everybody in Hurricane Nation, man, what to expect for the new look Higgins Hurricanes.
I tell you what to expect. You're gonna have some kids that's gonna pretty much give it their all, and I say this only being at a month. I can tell you it's a good group of kids. I haven't had any academic problems whatsoever yet, which is a blessing. But these kids are gonna give you everything they have for 4 quarters. I can promise you that. And we gonna live by that motto: cry havoc and let's slip the dogs of war. That's what we about.
Yes, sir, man. Look, as your former teammate, man, I'm overly proud of you. We might not talk as much, because we grow, we're in 2 different spots, but you always got my support. Number always open. Also got another teammate of us, Joshua Murdoch. Say shout out, for becoming a new head coach, and let's put the Hurricanes back on the map, baby.
Thank y'all.
If ain't nobody else gonna have your back, you know that
some of that dogs of war coming with you.
You know what I'm saying? Cause, man, Clifford was a baby with us, man. We was tough on Clifford.
I tell everybody that. I said, if you want to know about getting initiated into a program, And I was the sharp boy, is what they called it, because I transferred over.
Right.
The very first practice, somebody stepped on my face mask. I said, okay, this was about to be.
That's me. That was me. That's exactly what I said. That's Hank's fault. He should have been here.
It be like that. Listen, man, Clifford, man, I love having you, man.
I appreciate it.
Love what you're doing, man. You definitely have our support, man. I'm definitely gonna be at some games, bro. Shooting you on, whether you win, lose, or draw. It's Higgins for life around here. But man, listen, I appreciate you having you on, man. Appreciate you giving us the time and do this segment with us, man. I deeply appreciate it.
Thank y'all, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem, brother. Clifford Harris,
new head coach of Higgins football. Man.
Higgins number
one. See, we taking it back, y'all. Y'all already know what time of day it is. Y'all gotta know. We taking it back. We here. We coming back, man. I'm proud of Cliff. I'm happy for Clifford, man. I'm looking forward to high school football. Yeah, the Hurricanes are coming, baby.
Hey, look, it was real good to hear, like, the first few names that he rattled off. Now, the first two guys, like, they played, so they played after.
They played after
both of us.
Correct.
So, like, I don't know them per se, but to hear that you have now, not only is the head coach guy a former Higgins guy, you have 4 other guys, and 2 who are still known on the West Bank to this day, and Philip Green and Derek Willis.
Yes.
And it's big bringing in Derek, because Derek has been coaching at Landry Walker. And granted, his son, that's what his son was.
His son just got a scholarship to go play D1 football.
You know what I'm saying? So we understand that part of it, but to have to steal a coach from your rivals.
Correct.
To come back, that's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. That's going to be huge for Higgins, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what Higgins can do early on. I'm looking forward to seeing, some games. To me, as long as they show that, like he mentioned, they play hard for 4 quarters. Listen, man, it's a success to me. If they can play hard for 4 quarters, man, listen, I'm proud of him. Eventually, I know going from 3 and 5 is going to be, it's going to have its challenges. But I think eventually they got the right guy. They got somebody who want to be that long term, and I think they can turn that ship around and become that powerhouse team that we were when we were there.
No, it's real simple. Well, it sounds simple, but it can be done, and it's really hard work. Because my freshman year, the seniors had just came off of like a 3-win season, and we was blessed to have seniors that worked hard in Troy. Stackhouse, Boss, Bruiser, all those guys, Nooney, Jarvis, Ruben, we had a good solid core, and we went 5-5, and our freshman team, was on played most of that season, and to watch that, and then to where we ended off our season as district champs, I seen you winning district, making it to the playoff multiple times. It just, so it could be done. I think the main thing he's going to have to do, though, is get our kids back.
Yeah, kids back.
Get our kids back. That's the main thing.
Now, we got to shift gears, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all already know that time. We got to get into some pro sports. Got to shift to the next gears. We got to get into some NFL talk. Y'all know what it is, man. A lot going on around the NFL and NFL free agency. Obviously, we're going to talk about the 49ers making the big trade up to number 3. Obviously, making that switch with the Dolphins, and the Dolphins switching with the Eagles to get back up to 6. But before all that, Saints free agency, Coach Hen. Mm-hmm. Obviously, free agency has been slow around the board. But the Saints started off with a lot of cap trouble. Mm-hmm. We had the retirement of Drew Brees, overdue. We had the restructuring of Taysom Hill contract with the votable years.
Very smart.
Then we had the re-signing of Jameis Winston. Obviously, there's some other things with the Saints going on. We got Marcus Lattimore going through some felony charges and stuff like that. Situations of that nature. But we also had a chance to franchise tag Marcus Williams. And there were some guys who, we had to release. The Emmanuel Sanders. Obviously, the Jared Cooks are going. Obviously, a guy like Trey Hendrickson getting a big deal with the Bengals. Obviously, Josh Hill going to the Lions with Dan Campbell. Obviously, we lost some coaches. talk about Saints free agency, and what if you had to give him a grade, give him a grade. Let's talk about the quarterback battle that people want to talk about. Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston.
Far as grade, I give him a B simply because. Well, I give him an A minus, and some people why we hadn't signed much of nobody. Here's the reason why. Coming in as much as under the cap we were, to get to where you could sign and restructure, that's a big plus. Well, we was looking at almost $100 million that we was.
105 million. It was a miracle.
You know what I'm saying? So just to get to where you can, so we had to cut at least $120 million. That's what people don't. I don't think that's what a lot of people, because you have to have $10 million to sign draft picks. So to cut that amount in the span of a couple of days, that's huge. Part of being a successful organization, you do lose people.
Right.
I'm happy for Trey Henderson, but I'm telling you, it's going to be short-lived simply because you had a man on the opposite side of you that was garnering triple teams, in Cameron Jordan, and you also had a phenomenal front forward with you, so that you reap the benefits of it, and you got paid. I'm not telling you you're not going to get paid, not to get paid, but the truth of the matter is, let's see what happens when you are the guy. I wasn't all that excited about the franchise tagging of Marcus Williams simply because of the price tag of it.
Actually, it still bothers me.
And because to me, I feel like we should have we'll have 1 or 2 more Super Bowls without Marcus Williams. Just to be honest with you, and to me, safety is not that position no more. It's no longer where you need a Darren Sharper, Ed Reed, Antoine Bethea, Troy Polamalu. You know what I'm saying? It's not the make or break position no more, that it was. So I feel like that's an easily replaceable spot that you could have used a draft pick on. Taysom, I think the main thing was to get Jameis Winston back. If we would have lost Jameis Winston, to be honest with you, I think it would have been trouble. It would have been big trouble for us down the line to where we might not even been a contender this year. I'm not saying we're a Super Bowl contender, but we're very competitive and we're very tough out. To me, it's James Winston's job by far.
Agreed.
They got James Hurst, who's a nice little backup
tackle
quarterback. I mean, not quarterback. Tackle. Utility offensive line.
Correct. That swing tackle coming on run down.
He can also bump inside, play guard for
correct.
You too. Our whole offensive line is coming back. We got Cesar Ruiz with a whole year. People forget that we didn't have an offseason. So he went straight from college to nothing
to preseason
to preseason.
To week one.
So I'm expecting a big jump from him. I think one of the biggest things that is kind of getting swept under the rug is now having Ryan Neeson back. He's the associate head coach now. You lose, he took over Dan Campbell's role, and so the D line, you lose Sheldon Rankins, you trade Malcolm Brown, which was a smart move. Is get something instead of just letting them walk away, and you lose Trey Henderson, but the guy who masterminded that whole thing, he's back. So that to me that's perfect. Marshawn Lattimore, I thought. This is honestly why I was upset that we franchise tag Marcus Williams. I figured we should have signed Janoris Jenkins back, and now it's really whelming on us with Marshawn Lattimore having his legal trouble. So now, who is cornerback one?
Well, if you got to figure if Marcus Lattimore can't play, because let's say he's going to be, pending a suspension by the NFL possibly. Your week one corner to me is P.J. Williams and Marcus and Patrick Robinson. To me, Patrick Robinson is just he's been an injured player his entire duration of coming back to New Orleans. I'm not a fan of Patrick Robinson being on this team. Matter of fact, if they release Patrick Robinson, they save $2.1 million. I think there's something that they should strongly consider. But I get why they didn't do it. You got the situation going on with Lattimore. And I think Janoris Jenkins was just he was a cap casualty to try to help get underneath that cap.
But don't I feel like we could have restructured his deal, and Marcus Williams' cap hit is bigger than Janoris Jenkins' cap hit was even with, and we still, Janoris Jenkins is the better player.
Nah, I don't disagree with that. I think that when you're looking at it, I think the reason why they franchise, because to me, I don't think Janoris has that much trade value. He's an older veteran player. And right now, if you're looking at the free agency market, it's been a dull market, this free agency. So a lot of guys who are veterans, especially when they start waiting until after the NFL draft has happened, a lot of those veterans are going to start to have to sign for league minimums. So I don't think Janoris Jenkins is out of play. I just don't think they were trying to pay that much above league minimum. So when you're looking at the cap savings or trying to get underneath the cap, I think it was just a business decision. I think Janoris Jenkins could be back in New Orleans, but that's going to be a post-draft decision. And once you kind of teams make those draft decisions and you say what veterans are still left, a lot of veterans are going to start to get on the team. They're going to start signing for league minimums. And I think Janoris Jenkins is going to kind of be one of those players because there's a bunch of them out there. I think like a guy like Quentin Dunbar is going to be out there. He's going to be another one that if he don't sign before the draft, those numbers for former free agents are going to start to go down. Your Josh Norman. Not to say that Josh Norman is an elite corner, but we're talking about a number 2. A lot of those guys are going to start signing for league minimums.
Right now, we're looking for number 1.
Correct.
Simply because of the legal situation. Like, this is a felony charge.
Correct.
Ain't no saving from that.
Yeah.
Ask DeAndre Baker.
I know. Now, I think you take Marcus Williams and you take that pick and you move all the way up, and there's a kid out of South Carolina.
I don't think we had to move. I think honestly, I think J.C. Horn is gonna fall to you because people are gonna go crazy. And I'm a cross lanes a little bit because it's the same track. Because I think the Jets have the power play here.
They do.
And
they hold a lot of cards.
And if they make the move that I want them to make, because I'm gonna be flat out honest. There's probably like 3 defensive players that in this draft that garner excitement. Everything else is like you got to prove it to me. That's just my opinion. Whether in the past it's been like maybe it might be 10, 15. Like you're like, oh yeah, that's day 1 right there. Yeah, he's going to. To me, this draft is you look at that 2 or 3. You look at that 2 or 3 guys. Pat Surtain, Micah Faison
out of Penn State, linebacker,
and Barrymore, the defensive tackle from Alabama. To me, those are day 1 right now game changers. Right now, put them in the game boss. So if the Jets can make a hell of a trade, and because to me, like their roster is atrocious. It's not Sam Darnold.
It's not Darnold,
and I'm not a Jets fan by any means. Y'all know. So
I don't think it's Darnold. I think that it's the fact that there's nothing else here.
His roster is atrocious. His head coach is atrocious.
Gotcha.
So to me, bringing in a new quarterback in that situation, I don't care how shiny the toy is.
It's not
unless it was Trevor Lawrence. If you were number 1, okay, I get it. Why.
Right.
But you're not number 1. So even like you're number 2. Somebody like Carolina wants that. All right, look, we to me Teddy Bridgewater did not have a bad year. It just he got hurt and it didn't pan out like you want.
Right.
So, but Carolina wants a new quarterback. All right. Well, they sitting at 8. You still in the top 10. You make a sexy trade right there. You get some picks, but that's why I say like they control the draft right there. If they make the right pick, the right trade, now you got 4 quarterbacks going, 3 for sure quarterbacks going in the first 3 picks. The Bengals are going to take an offensive lineman.
Of course.
Or, they take an offensive lineman or receiver. Most likely offensive lineman because it's a receiver heavy draft. Again, but most likely they're taking an offensive lineman. So now you're pushing people who already have quarterbacks back farther are looking. That's where Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase are going to start coming off the ball. So, and Pat Surtain's going to go in there somewhere. Fazen's going to go in there somewhere.
Right.
So that's your top 12 right there in a nutshell. So everybody else are going to start falling back.
So, yeah, he could possibly fall. But then again, when you start looking at his pro day and what he did, I think that if you're the Saints and you're talking about trying to get another corner, I think you got to. I don't think he's gonna fall to 28. Is what I think what they're picking at. But I think he's a mid-teen. He's gonna fall to the teens.
If he don't fall, like I said, is 3 defensive players to be excited about. Everybody else is kind of on the same. So we miss out on J.C. Hart. Guess what? There's a kid up there at Virginia Tech and Caleb Farley.
Yeah,
I take him in a heartbeat too.
Possibility.
Anybody but goddamn Patrick Robinson, goddamn
P.J. Williams,
and
Lighthouse of the Blind.
And what's the other boy that? Just don't put Ken Crowder back on the goddamn team. I'm tired of where the fuck y'all keep finding Ken Crowder, Mickey? Shit.
The man stay around the corner from Airline, man. The man, he stay around the corner facility.
He must sleep at the bus station right behind the training facility because every time a cornerback comes down, he's right there.
Now, just to, that's the Saints. But just switching gears, because I know we got to talk about some other team. At number 3, you get this big draft day move for the 49ers. They move up from their respectable bitch move all up to number 3 for the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins move back to 12, and 5 minutes later, they end up moving back to 6 and trading with the Eagles. Mm-hmm. At number 3, your John Lynch. Your Kyle Shanahan. What quarterback are you taking? Is it Zach Wilson? Is it Justin Fields? Or is it, media has this way of hyping guys up and getting guys moving up boards. Mac Jones.
I think Mac Jones still gonna be later. To be honest, in my perfect scenario, I hope Mac Jones falls to 28. Just being realistically with you.
Gotcha.
I just think because media push people up there, but it'd be more GMs talking about guys that pushes people up more than anything. Because they're not gonna say, hey, Mac Jones is rising, just to say rising. They're getting it from somewhere, and people just the smoke screen technique.
Correct.
But honestly, I was surprised that San Francisco made the move.
Agreed.
Because I don't feel like quarterback is what's hampering them.
Agreed.
Even because your defense, which what got you to the Super Bowl the year before was your defense.
Correct.
Well, you blew up that D-line.
Buckner is now in the Colts.
And now you don't have Solomon Thomas.
Correct.
You got Fred Warner. Your cornerback. You lost Richard Sherman now. So your defense was your calling card. I just felt like they was another playmaker away. I felt like they should have stayed where they was at and got the best wide receiver on their board. Even moving up, I still think they should get the best wide receiver. But I understand that you don't make this move for a wide receiver. I understand that. Me, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care what y'all think. I would take the best wide receivers. Now you're looking at 2 young wide receivers on rookie deals with a Kittle that you have signed long term, and that's an easy sell to a quarterback.
Correct.
If you want to move on for Jimmy G after that, look, man, who don't want to come play with this?
Right.
That's just honest. You'll be showing quarterback way, but I understand you don't make that move.
You don't make that kind of move.
To me, Justin Fields will be the pick. And it's simply because I seen him against better competition and more. He did it in the SEC, even though it was spot playing, but he played in the SEC, played at Ohio State. He's went to the college football playoffs a couple of times and got beat to sleep in the national championship. Zach, to be honest with you, I don't see the hype.
I don't see the hype. I don't get it.
I don't see that. This is what I hate because they always do about quarterback.
There's one in every class.
We should you should be tired of whiffing. And what I mean by that is like, why go crazy for somebody who you hadn't seen that much of? Look at the competition he played against. I mean, granted, he did the same thing that Colin Kaepernick did when he was at Nevada. He didn't play against nobody sexy, and it showed when he got to the league. Like his athleticism allowed him to do something, but when you asked him to win it with your arm, it was like
he's not accurate.
All right, I can't do it. Cam Newton is the same way, but like Cam Newton is a freak, you know, and his game is what it is. You know, people was boosting Tebow. Same thing happened. At some point in time, who you play against has to matter. Trey Lance. I'm sort of the same. Like, I understand why people love arm talent, ridiculous, can move.
Right.
Ran a pro style spread offense, which is pretty hard to do. Some of the things that Carson Wentz did, and that school has put out like 4 quarterbacks in that same system. So the system works. It's just had Carson Wentz not been hurt, I think
he can still probably be the quarterback of the Eagles, and he's going to be the quarterback for the Colts.
Yeah,
you know. But I look at this. To me, if you move up to 3, to me, the reason why you take Justin Fields, and there's no offense to Zach Wilson, there's no offense to Mac Jones, but to me, in that system, they're going to be the same guy. They're not going to. To me, why move up to take a guy that is going to operate very similar to what Jimmy G does?
Right.
In terms of style and play. It makes sense if you're taking a Justin Fields because there's mobility. He just ran a 4.4. You can move around. You can scramble. You can do a lot more things with a Justin Fields at quarterback. And you don't have to start Justin Fields immediately because Jimmy Garoppolo is not like he's breaking the cap. Now, ain't nothing wrong. He's not underpaid, but he's not a $30 million guy. So you don't have to move immediately from Jimmy Garoppolo. I think this cap number this year is $25 million and next year is $27 million. More than qualified enough to be a starting quarterback in this game. And on top of that, I look at the situation because a lot of people have been talking about, man, you take Justin Fields, Jimmy Garoppolo going. I'm like, why trade him when you don't have to?
It's gonna be like
he could sit a year.
It's gonna be like the Chiefs when they drafted
Patrick Mahomes.
Alex Smith finished out the year, and he played like the last game, and then he comes along.
Now my man Scoot says this. He says Trevor Lawrence is all hype.
I don't know, but the word hype, I don't know if you talk about like house party, like ain't my type of hype. That gotta be what you talk about, cause Sunshine is ridiculous. I'm just being honest with you, like, cause this is why I say it. It's not cause of who he was playing with, because you had another 5-star quarterback come in when he was out for COVID. And DJ Unga got that Unga shoot me that came in and the offense didn't do nothing. I mean, like they lost.
They lost to Notre Dame.
And it was the Trevor Etienne show. Like he it's a whole first of all he's tall, he can run, and he has all the throws, and he has won consistently. So he knows how to win. So and he's won against NFL talent. Most of the guys that he's gonna go up against on the next level, he's played against. Now he is going into a horrible situation. Yeah. I cannot name you a skilled player outside of DJ Chark, and that's only because he LSU.
That's pretty much it.
That plays for the Jaguars.
That's it.
If this was the Jaguars that still had Allen Robinson, Allen Hurns, Marquise Lee, Mercedes Lewis, Fournette, I'm like,
okay, yeah. Just get Blake Bortles out of here and get him here. We with that defense, Saxonville, let's play some ball.
But this, to me, this ain't it.
Atrocious. This is atrocious. This is an atrocious situation. And again, when you're that good of a player and you're gonna get picked first overall, sometimes you fall in these situations. That's just how the dominoes fall. Now, to his credit, he getting a new head coach who's never coached at this level, Urban Meyer, but Urban Meyer does have a track record, even throughout college football, from building a program. Now, granted, this is not a program. This is the NFL. But to Urban Meyer's credit, everywhere he's been, the team has been successful at some point in time during their tenure.
Right.
Can Urban Meyer become the next, I would say a Pete Carroll, guy who coached the college game and transfers to the pro game and win a Super Bowl? That's still yet to remain to be seen. But that's the only bright spot I would say that I'm going to give Urban Meyer the benefit of the doubt for what I've seen him do from a college perspective, going to the pro level and say, okay. Yeah, but other than that, it's bad. I can't think of a talent that's there, and I'm saying to myself, ugh, it's not that in Jacksonville. But you and I both agree the 49ers should take Justin Fields. Right. To me, if you take Zach Wilson, I don't know what you've been watching. John Lynch.
That's their news. Just like, when John Lynch made the trade with the Bears, and they was not taking Mr. Trubisky, and got the world for them to move up one spot, for them to take a quarterback that they wasn't taking it all. So, you know what I'm saying? Now we about to shift gear, and we about to shift real fast because we got like 3 more segments to get through in like 15 minutes. So
right.
bear with us.
Bear with us.
You know what I'm saying? So, rapid fire. Let's roll.
NBA. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about this, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Nets and we got the Lakers getting all the top buyout players. We got the Nets who got Blake Griffin. We got the Nets who got LaMarcus Aldridge. We got the Lakers getting Andre Drummond. Have the Nets and the Lakers created an unfair advantage for the rest of the NBA?
No. No. I mean, to be like, if this was trades, okay. But buyouts, that's like free agency. Like you get to pick where you want to go. Now, to me, just to be honest, and not because I'm a LeBron guy. To me, the Lakers should be the destination you want to go to, simply because you know you're going to get shots.
Agreed.
You're going to play. You're going to it's going to feed into what you. The Blake Griffin move to the Nets. To the Nets, that's not your style. Like that's not, you don't run up and down the court no more. You're not dunking on
You're not high and flying Blake Griffin.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That if this the Clippers break Clifford, like, ooh, yeah, that's tough. DeMarcus Aldridge, you never been that guy. You never been a
half-court player.
You know what I'm saying? You're slowing everything down.
Half-court guy.
You don't rebound like you're supposed to. So it's like, and it's look who went there. Like, it's no defense on that team whatsoever. It's not a defensive person.
Yeah, but they got to score you in the East.
In the East. But what happens when you get to people that can run with you?
They're only going to play one of them, which is in the West.
No. First of all, to me, and this is me, until they are fully healthy, until the Nets are fully healthy, to me, they're not the best team in the East.
And that crown will go to
Philly.
But Philly ain't got Embiid right now.
That's right now, but he played more than Durant. when he back, it's like, who's stopping him?
No one's stopping him.
You don't have
no one stopping Embiid.
And then so here's the trouble. He's quick enough to guard he's quick enough to guard every single big that the Nets have.
Correct. But here's the problem. If Durant comes back, Harden has made his case to be one of the most valuable players in the game. He could arguably be your league MVP.
Nah.
Not this year?
Nah.
He didn't make that case.
He went to a souped up team. He wasn't doing that shit in Houston.
He was doing it. They just couldn't win. He was shooting the ball.
If you're the MVP,
he won MVP in Houston, right?
Yeah. They went to the playoffs too.
They went to the playoffs every year he was in Houston. They just couldn't get over the hump.
This year he wasn't doing that shit this year.
Yeah, he won MVP in Houston.
No.
Didn't he win MVP in Houston?
Not this year.
Not this year, but I'm saying that he got traded early on.
That's his fault. Hey, man, look.
He wanted out of there.
Because he wanted to go. He wanted where it's easy at. He was tired of being the guy.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Right. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna be the guy, but as long as KD hurt.
Yeah, because when KD that's my day. When KD comes back, those shots not yours. Look, most of the time he's suited up with the Nets. Kyrie ain't been playing, so he's been able to get the ball. Yeah, give it to me. Kyrie, I've been here first. This is my ball. You get what I give it to.
There's only one ball.
So, and I look at, and it hit. This is just my day. At some point of time, you're going to have to play against a team like the Celtics. The star power name might not be that, but
the grit is.
And Jason Tatum can give you any buckets that Durant can. Dookie. You know what I'm saying?
Jaylen Brown. He gonna play blowfish in the floor.
You know,
Kemba
Walker can go at your neck. They now even though his debut game wasn't that sexy, it was atrocious. But Evan Fournier is more than capable
of becoming a role player, getting buckets.
You know what I'm saying?
Shooting the ball.
Did they get Vucevic too?
No, they didn't get Vucevic.
Who got Vucevic?
Chicago did.
Okay, yeah. So that's a sleeper team right there. They don't have, but they're enough to scare you. And you cannot not talk about the Greek Freaks team.
Milwaukee. You got Drew Holiday. You still got Middleton. You know, you still got some players there that can still contribute on both ends of the floor.
So it is not going to be as easy as it.
So you don't think Miami could be by getting on the depot? Because you still got Tyler Herro who could shoot. You still got Duncan Robinson who can shoot. That dude Kendrick Dunn is not a superstar, but he could get you some buckets in there. And you still got Jimmy.
Here's my thing. I thought there was a year ahead. I think COVID actually helped them last year.
Correct.
Getting to the finals. I think that was an overachievement by far. But two, Victor Oladipo has never been in a winning situation since he stepped foot in the league.
He's only been in one team that made the playoffs to me, and that was a team in Indiana, but he took LeBron to 7.
Yeah.
That was the only time I looked at and said, okay, he took LeBron to 7.
But that's it. You talk about one time out of his whole career. He's never been. Is he a glue guy? That's yet to be seen. But I think it's a nice pick. But
I think he fits. I think he fits Miami. I think Miami's going to fit him too.
But this is my thing. Like if it came down buckets for buckets, like it's not enough. It's not enough bucket power
in Miami to match the Nets.
Because the Lake.
Now, School says until the Heat are beat in the playoffs, they are the team in the East. They got defense, heart, and they just added Oladipo. They are the defending Eastern Conference champs.
Man, let me tell you something. The reason the heart only gets you so damn far. That's why they make pacemakers. Because this is like at some point in time the Buckets got to go in. Now, granted, I know that this was his he was a I wanted to say a freshman so bad, but he was a rookie last year. But when the playoffs came on, it wasn't the same Tyler Hero. Like when a team like you're not about to score, forced the Duncan Robinson kids to come out of nowhere.
Right.
Where's he this year? Bam can't get you nothing.
Defensive effort.
Oh, I'm a rebound, I'm a defend, but like when you count on points, unless it's a
second
putback,
chance, but I said second chance points.
Unless it's a putback,
the rim.
I can't create my own shot.
He ain't an average 20 guy.
So Butler is the only for sure buckets that you have, and you talk about 1 against 3, ain't gonna work.
Now I would say Gordon Dragic, but he's not a superstar.
He's not that Gordon Dragic anymore.
No, he's not the same guy. He ain't the same guy that you saw in Phoenix.
Yeah.
When he was down there getting buckets.
Yeah. Yeah, he ain't the D'Antoni one.
Yeah, he ain't about to say, yeah.
For the Lakers, to me, Andre Drummond is a hell of a pick.
Yeah.
And this is why you can keep AD at the 4.
Right. You got a real center.
You could keep
Marcus Gasol, man, bad.
Yeah, but like that's the second team. He doesn't have to. Like right now with AD out, all right, you get in the group.
You got Montrez.
He's the best fucking rebounder since Dennis Rodman. That's just the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't. Now free throws, he's bad, but like he's an uber athletic guy who will run, who will defend, who is unselfish, and is not a prima donna, and he's finally in the position where he can win. The only time he was able to be in a position where he could win when they added Blake Griffin to the team with him, and it was still a first round out. I just think about like what you put like a 4-quarter lineup when you could go Kuzma at the 2, LeBron at the 3. AD at the 4, Drummond at the 5, and whoever the hell you want at the 1, because it's still gonna be LeBron.
Right.
And you got shooters and bigs and everybody's running.
Now so we can speed it up. Nets, Lakers finals.
No, I don't see it. I see Lakers back for sure. I don't.
Nets question mark.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, gonna get to it. NCAA college basketball. Mm-hmm. We got our Final Four. We got Gonzaga. We got UCLA. We got Baylor. We got Houston. Who becomes our next March Madness champion?
To me, honestly, I have to go with Gonzaga.
I gotta go with Gonzaga.
It's simply a number. Like, it's daytime. But simply, I'm just playing the numbers. So, like, the best defensive team in the tournament by far is
Baylor. Houston following.
You know, but I look at this. Gonzaga averages 91 points a game. Mm-hmm. That's the most by far. Like, the second closest Baylor, and they average 83. Mm-hmm. UCLA averages 72 points. The lowest point total Gonzaga has had in the past 6 games is 83. The lowest UCLA had is 51. The lowest Baylor has had is 74. The lowest Houston has had is 62. So, on Gonzaga's worst day, in the past 10 games, they outscored all of them. And it's not even about close. Like, the closest one would be Baylor, and they win by 9. They blow out UCLA. They blow out Houston. So, to me, this is one of those. People don't come to Gonzaga to be one and dones.
Nope.
They come to and they stay. They
correct.
Stay a while. That's probably why they don't do that good when they in the league. Pros. You know what I'm saying? But because
they're juniors and seniors by the time they get there. You know, AKA the Adam Morrisons of the world.
I just seen what you can do. That's not gonna fly.
That's not gonna fly here. Now that kid who's in Washington now, I can't think of his name. The kid that got drafted real high. That's playing with Westbrook and Bradley Beal. I can't think of his name. Got one of them long names, starts with an H. Rua.
I know you're talking about Rui.
I can't pronounce the last. Yeah, he's coming on.
Yeah, but he still can't shoot that ball.
No, but he could, but he's showing some athleticism.
But he can't shoot.
Give him time.
Man,
Giannis can't. Zion can't shoot, but give him time.
But who flying with the boy? Rui ain't flying like that. Giannis can't shoot, but who flying with the boy? The boy's 7 foot. He rolling.
Respectable point. Marty B says,
Zags.
I got Gonzaga winning the tournament, man. I think, honestly, no offense to anybody, if you said late somehow, some ways, it upsets Gonzaga, who has not lost a game regular season up to now, I think it's going to be a bad national championship.
I wouldn't say like, not to me. I'm gonna be flat out honest. As a Duke guy, this has been the best tournament I've seen since we won with Justice Winslow, Jaleel Okafor, Tyler Jones, Grayson Allen. You know, this has been the best. And the reason why I say that, it is all open, wide open. No favorites outside the Zags coming in. You know, to me, it was perfect.
All right. Listen up, guys. That's just our take on national champion. So who you got winning it before we get time to wrap up?
Zags.
I got the Zags winning the national championship. My boy like this. You know how you do, man. You know how you do. He's going down. But our last segment of this show here is our high school corner, and we're going to get ready to close. We want to give some shout-outs and some praise. So, y'all know how we do on FanView Live. We always got to give some recognition or some sort of popularity to the high school kids down here in the state of Louisiana. So, Coach Hen, for our first episode back at FanView Live, who we put in our high school corner this week?
It's going to be a shout-out and a slap in the face.
Ooh, double whammy.
You know, first of all, and no, it's not because it's from my school, but goddamn, yes, it is. All right, so here you go.
The double whammy.
The shout-out goes to Jen Pierre. All right, the number 1 player in the 2022 class. She's a point guard. All right? Mm-hmm. Let me tell you what she averaged. All right? She averaged 28 points a game.
Good Lord.
6 rebounds, 11 assists, and 6 steals. All right.
What?
All district MVP.
All pro.
Took her, led her team to the Final Four, lost to the eventual state champion Lake Arthur. All right.
Sounds like she's an all pro to me, coach.
She's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She's ridiculous.
Yeah. Monster.
The slap in the face goes to whoever voted for the All-State team. So, and look, this is no disrespect to the young ladies that made it, but we have Amara West from Rayville who made it, who averaged 26 points a game. We got Deanna Brister from Lake Arthur. She was a dog. She averaged 19-18 a game. Jada Richards from Lafayette Christian. She averaged 21 a game. Jaden Brumfield from St. Thomas Aquinas. She averaged 18. Paisley Scott from Dawes. She averaged 22, who's also a dog. All right. Now, second team, Peyton Hines from Avoyes. She averaged 20. Janiyah Fisher. Now, she is a dog. She's in 8th grade.
Right.
She averaged 20 points a game. From Lakeview, Amara Butler from Franklin averaged 17. Elise Jones from Dawes averaged 19. And Izzy Basman from Episcopal averaged 19.
Sound like no one outperformed.
Where is Jen? Where's Jen?
Who's outperformed her?
And here's the sad part. She didn't. Not only did she not make All-State on first team or second team, she doesn't even make the honorable mention list. Now, we had 3 girls that should have made it. At least honorable mention. Jen should have been
first
on All-State. It shouldn't have even been close. But Haley Brumfield should have made it as a freshman. And I got a face, but I'm missing her name. But she's another one of our guards. She should have made it as a freshman.
We got to get it together, folks.
So
got to get it together. It's bad.
To me, that's a disservice to the team, to the game, because these kids, the girls are walking damn triple-double. She could beat some of the boys. And she doesn't make All-State. I don't understand how. I don't understand why. But whoever voted for All-State, you're bad.
You're bad. You're bad.com. You got to get over yourself. Maybe you got to girl for the girl. I don't know. At the end of the day, the girl should have made it. She sounds like she's the best player. It sounds like she's one of the best players in the country. And she can't make All-State. It sounds like she's one of the best players in the country. And she can't make All-State in Louisiana. You're bad all over. You gotta this gotta stop. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they got something wrong with the governor. Maybe he went to meet. Maybe they got some beef. I don't know. But you gotta get over that. We gotta get over that at all. And then that's our high school corner. She deserves to be in it. Bottom line. But you know what was coming for? That's the bottom line. Obviously, she's gonna get enough, recognition for what she does, and hope she can be able to take her talents to the next collegiate level. Which I hope, I believe she will.
I don't know, Warren. Somebody tell me how the hell she don't make All-State. I don't know.
Politics, man. Politics. Don't know how she don't make it. But for next week, guys, we're back. FanView Live is back on the air. This is our new time, noon. 12 o'clock on Thursday. Our next guest for next week will be the defensive coordinator for the Amite Warriors, Coach Chris Gordon.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all see him up there with the Heisman Trophy winner, Devontae Smith. For those of y'all who don't know, Coach Gordon has been Devontae's mentor since he was a freshman in high school, and he was also his position coach. So it's gonna be real good to have him come on the show and talk about their relationship. And how he watched tape pretty much go from boy to pretty much, maybe, arguably first, second wide receiver being picked in
the draft. And now on top of that, talk about a lot of other kids that's coming out of that AME program over the past few years. We're not talking about just Devontae Smith, but there was a few other 5-star and 4-star recruits that came out of that program. We'll definitely be talking to him next week. Y'all got to stay locked in, baby. Get tuned in. If you're not on Facebook, subscribe. Get locked in on Facebook. FanView Live, subscribe to the page. If you're on YouTube, go to FanView Live. We're there also. Y'all know the theme music right there. It's welcome back. Y'all already know
back,
we back, baby. We're back. Welcome back to FanView Live, y'all. We deeply appreciate it.
Shout out to our people. School. JJ, fuck that. You know, Marley. You know what I'm saying? Warren. You know, Josh.
Marty B.
You know what I'm saying? And special shout out to our guest caller, Higgins Hurricanes own Clifford Harris.
We got a few other people. John,
Corey Ross.
Shepard Jr. Ronald Gerard. A lot of people, thank y'all for tuning in. Man, thank y'all for, we back, man. Let me go back into the top here. Damon Jackson, we back on the rise. I see you, man. Listen, man, definitely appreciate it, guys. Byron Trevathan, listen, man, appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, subscribe to the page, man. FanView Live each and every Thursday now for 12 o'clock noon. Each and every Thursday, man. Y'all get locked in, man. A lot to discuss. We back, baby. It's been a while.
Make sure y'all share it, baby. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend.
Yeah, baby.
You did.
You did. Y'all know what it is. FanView Live. Real Fans Talk.
Yeah, you know it.